celebrity? Who's your favorite celebrity in India? My favorite celebrity in India is Amir Khan. He's an actor par excellence. Recently, I saw his movie, Dangal, which I liked very much. Do you like any foreign celebrities? Yes, I like some cricketers from Australia and South Africa. Would you want to be a celebrity in the future? No, I would not want to be a celebrity in future. I'm very happy with the quiet and peaceful life that I have as a commoner. Do you think we should respect famous people's privacy? Yes, we should respect famous people's privacy. They have a right to their privacy. It can affect their performance if anyone invades their private life. How do celebrities influence their fans in India? Celebrities are role models for their fans. People like to follow their favorite celebrity and do what they do. Do chocolate? How often do you eat chocolate? I do not eat chocolate very often. I eat chocolate once or twice a month. Usually I like dark chocolate, which is not very sweet. What's your favorite flavor? My favorite is Cadbury's Dark Delight. Is chocolate expensive in India? Yes, chocolate is expensive in India, especially the chocolate of foreign brands which are available here. When was the first time you ate chocolate? I don't remember exactly, but I have been eating chocolate since I was a child. Is chocolate popular in India? Yes, chocolate is very popular in India. We can get all varieties of Indian and imported chocolates. Outdoor activities. What do you do in your spare time? I do many things in my spare time. I watch TV, listen to music, and I do a bit of gardening whenever I'm free. Do you like outdoor activities? Yes, I like outdoor activities. I go for walks in the morning, I play badminton at times, and I also do some gardening. What outdoor activities do you do the most? Or what outdoor activities do you like the most? Again, you can give the same answer as you gave for the previous question. How often do you do that? I do these activities almost every single day. What outdoor sports do you like and why? I like many outdoor sports such as cricket, hockey, and football, but I play only badminton. How much time do you spend outdoors every week? I spend about 30 to 40 hours outdoors every week. How often do you do outdoor activities? I do these outdoor activities very often, almost every day. What types of outdoor activities are popular in your country? India is a diverse country. All types of outdoor activities are popular, but I think cricket is the most popular outdoor sports. Photography. Do you like to take photographs? And why? Yes, I like taking photos. Photographs are memories of good times and special events. We can capture special moments, interesting things, or beautiful sceneries through pictures. They are reminders of good times. Do you prefer to take photos yourself or to have other people take photos? And why? I prefer taking photos myself, as everyone has different way of looking at things. Another person may not like what I find interesting. How long have you liked taking photos? I have liked taking photographs since I was a child. We used to take our camera to all our vacations and I used to be very fascinated with it. Now I mostly use my cell phone to take pictures. How or why did you become interested in photography? I became interested in photography because my father was very fond of taking pictures, and he always had a good camera. We used to take the camera to almost all our vacations, and we also used to take many great pictures. How often do you take photographs? I take photographs very often, in fact almost every day. In what situations do you take photographs? I take photographs in many situations. Sometimes it's during friends or family get-togethers. Sometimes it's a beautiful scenery, like of the sky or the sunset, or when I travel in another city. I take pictures on many other occasions. What kind of photos do you like to take, and why? I like to take photos of different things. Sometimes it's a beautiful scene, which can be of the sky, the clouds, sunrise, sunset, and so on. Sometimes I take pictures of plants and animals. I also like to capture the different expressions on people's faces. Do you prefer to take pictures of people or of the scenery? I do not prefer one to the other. I like taking pictures of various things. Sometimes it's scenery, and sometimes I like capturing a person's expressions. What do you take photos of? I take photos of my family, relatives, friends, my dog, other animals, etc. How do you keep your photos? I save pictures mostly in my online albums, like Google Photos. Sometimes I get them printed also. Do you keep your photos on your computer? Yes, I keep my photos on my computer. I always back up my phone photos onto the computer. Are there any photos on the walls of your home? Yes, there are many photos on the walls of my home. We have pictures of all special events in the family, like birthdays and weddings, and also of all of us growing up at different stages of our lives. Do you frame or do you have framed any of your photos? If yes, which and why? Yes, I have a family photo framed. It's from my sister's wedding. All 5 members of my family are there in this picture together, and everyone is looking cheerful and happy. It's one of my favorite photos. Do you prefer to send postcards to people or to send photos that you took yourself, and why? I prefer to send photographs I took myself, as they are a way to share your expressions with your near and dear ones, letting them know that you are thinking of them. Television and radio. What kind of entertainment do you prefer, TV or radio, and why? I pay for TV to radio because TV is both audio as well as visual. I listen to radio only while traveling. How are radio programs and television programs different? While listening to radio, you can do other things such as cooking and driving. It is not possible while watching a TV. Radio programs are cheaper, as you don't have to subscribe to radio channels. Watching TV is costlier in comparison. Radio programs have only the audio component, whereas TV is audio and as well as visual. What programs do you like to watch or listen to? I like to watch sitcoms like Comedy Nights with Couple. I also watch some daily soaps, some sports channels, and news programs. Or if you want to say something about radio, you can say I listen to Radio Mirchi and other such radio channels from where I can listen to the latest songs. When do you watch TV, or when do you listen to the radio? I watch TV mostly in the evenings. At that time, we all family members sit together and watch some sitcoms or news channels. I listen to radio only when I'm traveling with my parents in our car. In India, has television or radio changed much in recent years? Television has changed a lot in the recent years. Many new channels and programs have been added. High-definition TV has become very popular. You can also watch some TV shows of other countries almost at the same time. In the radio, also many new channels have been added, so there is an improvement in both TV and radio. How do you think TV or radio broadcasts in India could be improved? Some new shows on education could be added. Otherwise, I'm quite happy with the TV programs and the radio broadcasts. Do you prefer TV news or news on the radio, and why? I prefer news on TV to news on radio. This is because TV has both audio and as well as visual component. So one gets more detail by looking at the news. Teacher. What kind of teachers do you like the best? I like teachers who are friendly and have patience, who do not get mad at me when I don't understand anything. I like teachers who have depth of knowledge of the subject and who have good communication skills to teach well. Who was your favorite teacher when you were young? When I was young, Mrs. Smith was my favorite teacher. She used to teach us maths. I remember I used to be very weak in maths, but she taught us so well that maths became my favorite subject. Would you want to be a teacher in the future? Yes, I would definitely want to be a teacher in the future. I think I have the patience. Moreover, teaching is a very lucrative profession nowadays. Have you ever had bad teachers before? No, I have never had bad teachers in my life. All my teachers have been very nice. Newspapers. Do you often read newspapers? Yes, I often read newspapers. I read the newspaper every day, in fact. I come to know what's happening around me and in the world. What do you prefer reading, magazines or newspapers? I prefer reading newspapers because I like to know what's happening around me and all across the world. What kinds of or what types of newspapers or magazines do you usually read? My father has subscribed to the Tribune, so I read that daily. It is a national newspaper but has a maximum circulation in Punjab. How old were you when you first started to read newspapers? I remember I was 10 years old when I started reading newspaper. I started from the sports section. Do you think it's important to read newspapers? Why or why not? I believe that it's very important to read newspapers. We feel connected with the whole world. Why do you think people read newspapers? People read newspapers to know what's happening around them. They also read newspapers for the international news. They also read newspapers for the employment advertisements and matrimonial advertisements. What different types of newspapers are there in India? There are broadsheets and tabloids. There are newspapers in English, Hindi, Punjabi, and other regional languages. Do you care about the news? Yes, I care about the news. I think news is very important. We should be aware of what's happening around us and also in the whole world. Is the news important to you? Now, this question can also be answered with the same answer that we gave for the previous question. What kinds of news do Indian people read in the newspapers? Indian people like to read all types of news. They read local news, national news, international news, sports news, and many other news. Do you prefer to read about domestic or local news or international news, and why? I like to read domestic news mostly, as well as international news, because reading the local news makes me aware of all the happenings around me, and reading the international news, I became aware of all the international events or all the international happenings. What are some methods newspapers use to attract readers? Some newspapers use colorful graphics, some use very bold headlines, some newspapers add puzzles like Sudoku and crossword puzzles to attract the readers. What influence do you think newspapers have on society? Newspapers have a lot of effect in society. They shape people's opinion. Though letters to the editor, they are link between the government and the people. They also entertain us. Do you think the internet is a good way to get news? Yes, the internet is really a good way to get the news today. People subscribe to the e-newspapers. There are many apps of the TV news channels which help the people to be updated all the time. Mirrors. How often do you look at yourself in the mirror every day? I look at the mirror at least once a day when I go out for my work. Apart from that, whenever I get a chance, I flatter myself by looking at the mirror. I think if you are a confident person, looking at the mirror always boosts your confidence. Have you ever bought mirrors? Yes, I bought a beautiful mirror when I went to Jodhpur last month. It has a nice wooden frame and a clear mirror to look at. It also has carving on the frame. Would you use mirrors to decorate rooms? Yes, I would like to use mirrors to decorate the rooms. Mirrors add space to the room and also enhance the lighting effect. I have a friend who's an interior decorator, and he also recommended it for my study room recently. Do you check yourself when you decide to buy a mirror? Yes, I check for any defects or flaws in the reflection when buying a mirror. I also check for any physical damage like cracks or dents. Robots. Do you like robots? Yes, I like robots as they can do so much for you these days. There are simple robots to clean the houses and sophisticated ones to perform surgeries. What kind of robot would you like to have? Recently, I've heard about a robot that cleans your room. I would definitely like to own one. It is like an automatic vacuum cleaner that picks up the dirt from all the nooks and corners. Will robots change society significantly? Yes, robots will bring changes in the society. In fact, they have already done so. Most of the jobs that were done manually earlier are performed with the help of robotics and with more precision. Or you can give the answer with a no. No, I don't think robots will change the society. It will only change the way we work. Gifts. What is the importance of gifts? Gifts are gestures of love. They strengthen bonds of friendship. Gifts make the recipient feel special. Is there any pressure on us to buy presents? As such, there is no pressure on us to buy presents, but sometimes when we receive costly presents, then there is a pressure to reciprocate in the same way. Then it may cause pressure. I believe that gifts should be just gestures of love. Too costly gifts should not be there. Nowadays, we belong to a consumerist society. There are so many choices of gifts. This may seem good to some, but I often get confused when it comes to selecting a gift. How often do you buy other gifts? I buy gifts very often. I buy gifts for my friends and siblings, but I don't buy expensive gifts. I'm not earning yet, so my budget is restricted to my pocket money only. Do you like to send expensive gifts? No, I don't buy expensive gifts. I'm not earning yet, so my budget is restricted to my pocket money only. What kind of gifts are popular in your country? All sorts of gifts are popular in my country. People buy gifts according to their choice and pocket. Why do people send gifts? Gifts are tokens of love. They give happiness to the giver and receiver both. To shoes. How often do you buy shoes? For me, comfort of shoes is more important than the looks. So whenever I find a pair of shoes that are very comfortable, I don't miss the chance to buy it. As a matter of fact, I end up buying a pair of shoes almost every month. Have you ever bought shoes online? Yes, online shopping these days offers a wider range of products than conventional shopping in the stores. So I prefer to buy shoes online these days. I just bought a pair of shoes yesterday. Do you know anyone who likes to buy a lot of shoes? Yes, I have come across many people who like to buy a lot of shoes. My sister, my aunt, my mother, all of them have a good collection of shoes in many colors. What's your favorite type of shoes? As I just mentioned, my favorite pair of shoes is the one that offers comfort rather than good looks only. I like shoes that are simple in design and polishable. You forgot things or forget things. What kinds of things do you have to bring when you go out? When one goes out, one should have your purse with some money and an ID card and cell phone. Did you ever forget to bring something? Yes, once I had to go to Ludhiana by bus. I forgot my wallet at home. Fortunately, I knew someone in the bus who helped me, otherwise I would have had to get down midway. How do you remind yourself? I have become very forgetful. I try to repeat things in my mind, and sometimes I set reminders on my cell phone as well. Do you carry different things in the morning and in the evening? It depends on where I have to go. In the morning, it is generally to the school or college, so I carry my bag and books. In the evening, I may have to go for shopping or for a movie, so I carry my wallet and shopping bag. Indoor games. Do you play any indoor game? Yes, I play carom board and cards with my siblings and parents. Do you prefer to play indoor games or outdoor games? It really depends on the weather outside. In hot summer afternoons, I play indoor games, but when the weather is good, I play cricket and badminton outside with my friends and family members. What indoor games did you play when you were a child? I played carom board, Ludo, and snakes and ladders as a child. Is there any particular indoor game that you liked when you were a child? When I was a child, I used to like Ludo and snakes and ladders a lot. What sorts of indoor games do children play now? Nowadays, children are of the digital era. They play electronic games on the computer or on the gaming consoles. Do you play video games? Yes, I play a lot of video games, and my favorite one is Uncharted. What kinds of video games do you like to play? I like to play some horror games, action, adventure, story type games. Is it good for young people to play video games? Yes, video games are good, but only if played in a limit. These introduce children to computer technology and teach strategy building skills. To city life. Do you live in the city or in the countryside? Here, countryside means a village. So if you live in a village, you can tell, I live in the countryside, and then you should talk about your village. What kind of village it is, what's the name of your village, and what's the population of the village, and what's so special about your village. And if you live in the city, then you can reply with, I live in the city, and then again the same things about the city, the name, and where you live, what's so special about your city, all the details. Is it good for young people to grow up in the city? Yes, it is good for young people to grow up in cities because cities provide many facilities. There are good education facilities, recreational, that is entertainment facilities, and health facilities as well. There are also good job opportunities available in cities. Is your city or is your village a good place for young people to grow up? Yes, my village is a good place for young people to grow up. First, it is very near to the city. It is as good as being in the suburbs of the city. We can enjoy all the facilities of city as well as the clean and pollution-free atmosphere of the village. Or you can answer, yes, my city is a good place for young people to grow up. There are good education facilities, recreational facilities, and health facilities. There are also good job opportunities in my city. Have you ever been to the seaside? No, I have never been to the seaside. My cousin went to Goa last year. He told me that beaches are fun places. I would like to go there whenever I get a chance. Or you can answer, yes, I have been to the seaside once. I went to visit my relatives in Mumbai. They took us to the Juhu beach. Do you often eat out or go to the restaurants? I eat out very often. In fact, 2 or 3 times in a week. What food do you like? I like traditional Punjabi food such as dal, roti. I also like Chinese, that is Manchurian and cheese chili. I love eating Italian pizza and pasta. To foreign language. Why do you think it is important to learn a foreign language? It is important to learn a foreign language because it helps you to connect with more people. As it is, today we do not belong to a big planet Earth. We belong to a small global village. And to survive in the global village, it is necessary to be multilingual. For example, English is spoken in 86 countries. If one knows English, one can communicate with people of 86 countries. How is it helpful to you to speak a foreign language? I know English, which is a foreign language. It is very helpful for me. Knowledge of English makes me feel more confident as it increases my communication skills, and also it helps me in surfing the net because most websites are written in English. What is the most difficult part of learning a foreign language for you? I find some pronunciations very confusing at times. For example, bough is pronounced as bow, whereas tough is tough. Sometimes the spellings, which have silent words, also confuse me. For instance, B is silent in doubt and debt. What is the best way to memorize new words? I think the best way to memorize new words is to start using them in daily life so that they become part of our natural spoken English. Is it better to learn a new word from translation or by definition? I think both ways are equally good. Sometimes some words are learned best by translation and some by definition. Why don't some people know the language of the society they live in? This is perhaps because they live in their own shell and they don't intermingle with the people outside. What do you think of children learning a foreign language? I think children should learn a foreign language. It's very easy for children to learn a new language as they are very receptive and they are not hesitant about making mistakes. They also have a benefit of not knowing any other language too well. To make comparisons and assumptions about the difficulty of language learning. In this era of globalization, knowledge of a foreign language is very beneficial for a better career and a bright future. It opens more avenues for students for higher education and good jobs. Why are some language classes boring? Some language classes are boring because of the teaching method used there. If there are no interactive or fun activities involved in teaching a language and only plain textbook teaching methods are followed, students become bored easily. Incorporating technology in classrooms keeps the students interested in learning and they learn it easily. For example, there should be an audio and visual means used. Some students hate to learn foreign languages. What can teachers do to develop their interest? Some students hate to learn a foreign language mainly due to the lack of interest and uninteresting teaching methods used. Teachers play an important role in developing students' interest. Interactive and fun activities should be included to keep the children involved and interested in learning. If students are taught only from textbooks and there is a pressure of examination, it leads to students becoming bored or disliking language classes. Teachers should also use context and examples to which the students can relate in their day-to-day life. If they understand how the language can help and benefit them, students would be motivated to learn that language. Some people travel for learning a foreign language. What do you think? I think that traveling is a very good way to learn a new foreign language. It is true that the more we use a language, the better we get at it. So if one has to travel to a country or region where that language is used, we will interact more with the local people in the language and learn its nuances better. Also, language is related to the culture. If we travel, we learn more about the culture and can learn the language better. What's the best way to learn a foreign language? I think the best way to learn a foreign language in a classroom environment is from a teacher who has in-depth knowledge of that language. The teacher should preferably be a native speaker of that language or should have a high proficiency level in that language. it's very important to incorporate technology and audio visual methods to teach that language. Also, traveling to that country, region where the language is spoken is also a good way to learn it. These days, learning a language through videos and online classes has become very popular as the students get a chance to interact with the teachers and also with native speakers of that language through the internet. There are many apps also available which can be downloaded on smartphones which help learning a foreign language in a fun and interactive way. For example, the Duolingo app. Why can some people learn languages fast while others learn it slowly? Some people learn languages faster than some others because of the teaching methods used to teach them. Interacting more with the native speakers also helps in learning a language better and faster. Also, there may be motivating factor like the job that requires them to learn that language, which makes people learn a language faster than others who don't have any motivation behind learning a language. Does one's age affect their language learning? Yes, I think age affects language learning. I think the learning curve goes down with the increase in age. Also, at an older age, people try to compare the new language they are learning with the language that they already know. That may cause a hindrance in the learning of language. People also become more hesitant about making mistakes and feel more embarrassed at a later age as compared to young learners. Birds. How do you feel about birds? Or why do you feel that way? I feel that birds are very special. They are beautiful creations of God. They add diversity to the nature. How do Indian people feel about birds? India is a diverse country. Everyone has different feelings. Some love birds, and they also keep birds as their pets. Others just admire them flying in the sky. Some even eat birds. Are there many birds near your home? Yes, there are many birds near my home. I can see pigeons, crows, sparrows, and even the cuckoo bird occasionally. Have you seen many different kinds of birds near your home? Yes, I have seen many different birds around my home. Apart from the birds I see routinely around my house, I have seen peacocks in my neighboring village. I have also seen some rare birds in a zoo. There were different varieties of parrots and the ostrich and emu over there. Do any birds have any particular significance in India? For example, does India have a national bird? Yes, peacock is our national bird. It is a beautiful bird. The male looks very beautiful with its plumes spread out. Do you think birds should be protected? And why? Or why not? How can they be protected? Yes, definitely. They are beautiful creations of nature. They add diversity to our environment. Apart from that, they are best pollinators. Also, birds eat insects. That is why crops are protected. They are part of our ecological chain. We all know that if any link of the ecological chain is not there, then the whole ecology can collapse. Birds can be protected by having strict laws against catching or selling birds. The NGOs like SPCA, which means Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, and PFA, which means People for Animals, can also help in this matter. Do Indian people like raising birds or keeping them as pets? Yes, they do. Some people keep birds as their pets. Mostly they keep colorful parrots and pigeons as pets. Have you ever raised or kept a pet bird? No, I have never raised a pet bird. There's a lot of work involved, and I don't think that I can raise it properly. Boats. Do you often travel by boat? No, I don't often travel by boat. I don't live in the coastal area, and where I live, people do not travel by boat. Boating is done only in places with water, such as in lakes and also any other water body like the sea. Have you ever been on a boat while you were on holidays or on a vacation? No, I have never traveled to a coastal area for holidays. I just never had a chance till now. Or you can say, no, I have never been to a boat tour, but yes, I did boating once when I went to Chandigarh to visit my relatives. They took me to the Sukna Lake and we did boating there. Would you like to go on a boat tour? Why or why not? Yes, I would definitely like to go on a boat tour. I think it would be great fun. My relatives live in the USA, and many people there have their own boats. They also told me that there is a cruise to Alaska one day. If given a chance, I would love to travel on that cruise. Where in your country do people most often use boats or travel by boats? India has a long coastline. The coastline is more than 7,000 kilometers. People living near the coastal areas use boats very often. Do many people in your country own their own boat? I think maybe the people living near the shores have their own boats, but people living offshore do not have their own boats at all. Would you like to buy a boat? No, I would not like to buy a boat. I think it would be a waste of money since there's no place for boating where I live. If you had your own boat, what would you do with it? If I had my own boat, I would buy a house near a beach and do some boating every day. Relatives. Do you often visit your relatives? No, I don't often visit my relatives. I visit them once or twice in 6 months. What do you do when you visit them? Whenever we visit relatives, we have lots of fun. We visit some historical places, eat out, watch movies, and do lots of other activities. Do you prefer to spend time with your relatives or with your friends? I prefer to spend time with my friends. I like their company very much. We have lots of fun together. Who is more important to you, your relatives or your family or your friends? Both are equally important for me, but my friends are more important than my relatives. Of course, my immediate family is more important than my friends. Shopping. Do you like shopping? Why or why not? Yes, I can say that I'm a shopaholic. Whenever I come to know about the latest trends or fashions going on, I feel like buying so many things. But since I'm not earning yet, and so my pocket doesn't allow me to buy new things every day. What do you think is most difficult or unpleasant part about shopping? The most difficult part about shopping for me is selecting things. The markets today are flooded with choices. I find it very confusing. I also don't like to go to the shops which are not fixed price shops. I hate bargaining. Is there anything you don't like or dislike about shopping? I don't like bargaining. That is the reason I generally prefer to go to fixed price shops. Do you prefer shopping alone or with others? I don't like to shop alone. The market is flooded with choices and I find it very confusing to select things on my own. So generally, I prefer taking one of my family members or friends along with me whenever I go shopping. Who do you usually go shopping with? I usually go shopping with my mother. Sometimes I go with my friends. Do you prefer to go shopping with family members or with friends? It depends on what I have to buy. If I have to buy costly things, then I like to go with my family. But for stationery items and other small things, I go with my friends. What do you usually buy when you go shopping? I buy clothes, shoes, cosmetics, stationery items, and many other such things when I go shopping. Sometimes I go with my mother to the grocery and buy vegetables there. Sports. Are you interested in sports? Yes, I'm interested in sports. I like watching cricket and hockey on TV. Sometimes I even play badminton with my brother on the terrace of our house. Do most people in your country like sports? Yes, most people in my country like sports. Cricket is the most popular sport. People also like hockey and football. Or you can answer, India is a diverse country. People like to play all types of sports, but cricket is the most popular sport in India. What benefits do you think sports can bring us? Playing sports can bring us many benefits. By playing competitive sports, we learn competition, and by playing team sports, we learn cooperation and teamwork, and also sportsmanship. Daily routine. Do you like to plan what you will do each day? Yes, I like to plan what I do each day. If I do not plan, I tend to procrastinate and then all my work piles up and I start getting stressed. Please describe your typical daily routine. I get up around 6 in the morning, then I freshen up and go for a walk. I walk for around 5 kilometers every day. If for some reason I do not go for a walk, then I feel something is missing from my life. After coming home, I help my mother in household chores. Then I go to school or college. In the evening, I hang out with my friends for about an hour or so. Then I study for some time. Then all of our family members have dinner at around 8. We all watch TV together for about an hour. I go to bed at about 10. What's your favorite time of the day? What do you do at that time? My favorite time of the day is the evening time. We all family members have dinner together. We share our day's happenings with each other. We watch TV together. Sometimes we go for a walk after dinner. So this is my favorite time of the day. Do you usually do the same things at the same time each day? No, my timetable is not that fixed. Dinner time is more or less fixed. Sometimes I go to bed late if I have to complete an assignment or prepare for some tests. How do you plan or organize your study time? I plan my study time very meticulously. I'm usually very diligent and I try to study for about 2 to 3 hours on school days and about 5 to 6 hours on weekends. Do you ever change these plans? Yes, many times. I have to change my plans. Sometimes there are guests at home and I have to help my mother. Then my timetable gets disturbed, but I usually make it up the next day by studying more. People's age. What do you think is most important age in a person's life? Or, in India, what's the most important age in people's lives? I think the most important age is 18 in India. At this age, adulthood starts, and with it a lot of legal rights, like the right to vote, legally obtain a driving license for four-wheelers, making independent financial decisions, and many more. So that's why 18 is the most important age in India. Are birthdays important in Indian culture? Or do people in India celebrate birthdays? Yes, birthdays are important in Indian culture. Birthdays are celebrated, but in different ways by different people. Sometimes it's a party with relatives and friends. Sometimes people celebrate with only their family and eat out, and sometimes it's a movie and a meal with friends. What birthday is most important in Indian culture? The most important birthday in the Indian culture is the 18th one, because one gets many rights, like the right to vote and legally obtain a driving license for four-wheelers, making independent financial decisions, and many more. What age in life is the most difficult, and why? Every age has its own challenges and joys. I don't think that we can call any particular age the most difficult. Teenage years may be a little challenging, as in those years of adolescence, children undergo both physical and hormonal changes, which may be a little difficult to deal with. They are neither children nor adults at that age. Punctuality. Do you wear a watch? Or do you think everyone should wear a watch? Yes, I wear a watch, and I think that everyone should wear one too, or keep a check on time. These days, people check the time mostly on their cell phones. However, the point is to be on time and not to waste time. In your country, is it important to be on time or be punctual? For example, for meetings or for work or classes? Yes, it is very important to be on time for meetings or classes or work. Time is valued a lot in India, and unlikely money, time once gone doesn't come back. Do you like to be on time? Or is being on time important to you? Yes, being on time is extremely important to me. I ensure that I am never late for my classes and other appointments and meetings. I understand that time is much more important than any other material thing or even money. How do you feel when others are late? When others are late occasionally, it may be due to a genuine problem. However, if someone is late very often, then it's definitely a habit that I do not appreciate or like. How do you remind yourself to be on time? I usually remember the appointments and meetings, but sometimes I set reminders on my cell phone to be on time. Why are some people always late? Some people are always late because they do not plan well and are not good at time management. They may also not value time. Do you think it's important to be punctual? Yes, I think it's very important to be punctual. It saves our time and other person's time also. Time is the most precious commodity. What will you do if you are waiting for someone? If I'm waiting for someone, I'll probably pass time by playing games on my phone or reading the news or chatting with my friends. Do you think people these days are as punctual as they were in the past? I think people are as punctual these days as they were in the past. However, sometimes due to the traffic situations of today, despite wanting to be punctual, people are sometimes not able to reach on time for their work or meetings or appointments, etc. Names. Does your name have any special meaning? Yes, my name has a special meaning. My name is Kiran, It means a ray of light. My name is very significant for me. It has been my identity for the past 20 years. This is a gift given to me by my parents. It brings out positive feelings from within me. I'm proud of my name. Is your surname very common in India? My surname, I think, is very common. I know many people with the same surname. Do you like your name? Yes, I love my name. This is my identity, and it is a meaningful name. It's a present given to me by my parents. Would you like to change your name? No, I would never change my name. I love my name as it is. Do people in India ever change their names? Yes, sometimes people change their name. Sometimes when a girl gets married, her in-laws give her a new name and start calling her by that name. However, it is very cumbersome process to change one's name in papers. What name do people at home, your family members, call you? My nickname is Mohit. At my home, everybody calls me by that name. Birthdays. How do children celebrate birthdays in your country? Children celebrate birthdays in different ways. Some children invite friends and cut the cake. Older children take their friends out for a party. Some people celebrate by donating for charity. How did you celebrate your last birthday? I took my friends out for dinner at Rangla, Punjab, a famous restaurant in the suburbs of my hometown. What kinds of birthday gifts do you like to receive? I like to receive clothes, books, flowers as gifts. I take gifts as gestures of love, so I happily accept anything that anybody brings to me. Is there a difference between the way you celebrated your birthdays in the past and in the present? When I was younger, my mother used to make snacks at home and bake a cake. I used to invite my friends, but now I prefer to take them out for lunch or for dinner. Speak about a cultural event that you celebrate in your country. My home country is a land of festivals and celebrations. People enjoy them during different seasons and time of the year. Even government also promote festivals and cultural events like Youth Festival, Film Festival, Rose Festival, Mango Festival, etc. But the festival about which I would like to speak is the Spring Festival, organized by the development authorities in my city. The event takes place every year in the month of February in Topiary Park in Sector 5, Panchkula. This festival is organized in the spring season to enjoy nature in different aspects. People working in the field of horticulture department display a variety of garden and pot flowers and plants. School and college students are invited for competitions in the flower arrangement, garland making, rangoli baking, dry foliage, and painting. Also, folk artists participate in the event to show folk art and culture in the form of songs and dance. Along with this, dance as well as singing competitions are organized during the festival. Children enjoy a lot of various eating points on different kinds of swings. Apart from this, companies display product promotion stalls that provide information related to various gadgets and devices. This type of event is very important to preserve culture and heritage of a country. It generates unity, harmony, and integrity among people. It's equally important to me because every year I also participate in the festival for planting and rangoli competition. In addition to this, I enjoy the festival with my family. It's a really good time and season of the year to enjoy nature and folk art. In a nutshell, I think these festivals and events add new color in everyone's life. What is the importance of cultural events and festival celebrations in a country? Celebrations always bring happiness and joy for people. The cultural and festival celebrations are really important to exchange and inculcate the cultural and traditional values among people. It shows dignity and diversity, warmness in relations, and moreover, the talent of participants gets recognition due to these functions. It helps to pass on the culture to the next generation. How have the cultural celebrations and festivals changed in your country? As time changes, everything changes. Cultural celebrations and festivals have changed a lot in my country. Previously, limited celebrations were organized that too had homes, but now people meet each other, exchange expensive gifts, and even celebrate collectively in their localities. There's a huge amount of money involved to make it more successful and expressive. Can traditions help to bridge the gap between generations? Generation gap is not new in the society. Every generation has to face it. I think traditions help to bridge the gap between generations. Through traditions, people come closer to each other. They sit together, share their feelings, emotions, memories, and enjoy the celebrations. This connects past time to the present. Is it necessary for immigrants to adopt customs and festivals that are celebrated in their new country? No, in my opinion, it's not necessary to adopt customs and festivals that are celebrated in their new country, but people should be given freedom to participate and adopt, since it's a beautiful experience of changing our feelings and attitude. Furthermore, it is a perfect example of global one world. What's the role of media in the promotion of cultural events and festivals globally? Media plays a major role in the promotion of cultural events and festivals. It telecasts the events and make people feel united globally, and moreover people feel their presence even while sitting in their homes. Why did you like the dress? I'm a shopaholic, and shopping is my passion. I like to buy new clothes on different occasions. I buy traditional as well as modern clothes for me and my family. Here I would like to speak about a dress which I bought 6 months ago for the wedding occasion of my brother. The dress is a pure silk sari of bottle green color with golden border. I wanted to buy a special traditional sari. I started searching for it at various reputed and renowned showrooms and outlets but couldn't find anything appealing. Ultimately, I saw an exotic and unique collection of designer saris at famed sari shop in Sector 22. I spent nearly 2 hours there to select an exclusive designer sari for myself and bought a beautiful green silk sari. This sari has a typical designer border and a graceful corner beautifully embellished with beads and embedded diamond stones. The silk fabric is wrinkle-free, smooth, and very attractive. To make the dress more elegant, I bought diamond jewelry and bangles also. I wore it on the occasion of my brother's marriage. The complete dress gave a sophisticated and stylish look. Many people gave me compliments. My husband and close friends appreciated my choice. It elevated my confidence and charm of the occasion as well. I like the dress because of its dress material, color combination, and above all, it suits to my personality. So It was due to this dress I got recognition, identification, and appreciation on the occasion, not just from my relatives, but also from the relatives of the bride. Is there any difference in the garment buying habits of men and women? Shopping is sometimes an obsession for females. Whenever they get a chance to buy things, they never miss it. I observe women are more sensitive and choosy than men. Women are in a habit of bargaining also. Men are not very selective. They prefer to buy branded clothes, and that too according to their convenience. Most of the males like to shop from branded showrooms, and they don't waste their precious time in unnecessary arguments. What's the difference between the attitude of young and old people in buying clothes? Youngsters usually buy bright color, designer, stylish, and fashionable clothes. They are always ready to spend on fashionable and latest designer clothes. They hardly care for the cost. On the other hand, old people buy clothes which are comfortable and also suits their personality, status, and also the occupation. Why do some people prefer branded clothes only? In my opinion, people prefer branded clothes only because of their uniqueness and quality. Apart from this, they are sold in big and famous shops, and they have a guarantee towards color and quality with a bill. For branded clothes, if any problem arises, they are always replaced. In fact, buying such clothes for ourselves is a pleasure. Why are more and more young people crazy for fashion? I think more and more young people are crazy for fashion because they want to change their looks and add new styles for their life. They also think fashionable personality is more attractive and they are preferred more among their peer as compared to others. Do you think employees should wear uniform at their working place? Why or why not? Yes, I feel employees should wear a uniform at their working place to bring a sense of equality and uniformity. And moreover, I think it is an identity of an employee which differentiates him from a customer in a company. The different color uniforms for different designations specify the role signs of a particular employee. Use of communication devices is becoming very popular these days. I'm also fascinated towards using many communication devices like computers, laptops, landline phones, cell phones, and many more, but the communication device which I use regularly is my cell phone, which is of Nokia company and of black color with colored touch screen. It's sleek and has an elegant look. The cell phone was gifted to me by my parents on my last birthday. Since then, I'm using this phone for communication and many other purposes. The device has a number of features. Along with regular features, it has all the latest applications like video camera, Bluetooth, FM, and internet facility. It also has currency and time converter, phone directory, etc. It is very useful to me and I use all the facilities as per requirement. I use it to communicate with my parents, friends, and relatives when I'm away from home. It stores all the details of received calls, dialed numbers, and even missed calls when switched off. I use it to send and write as well as pictures and messages, especially on festivals and other celebrations. It's very helpful to me. In the morning, I get up by its alarm and moreover, I enjoy devotional songs through its FM radio. That's not all. With this, it has a 3.2 megapixel camera, which helps to capture memorable moments and photographs. This device is not only helpful to me, but also to other family members, as the gadget has large storage capacity, so it's useful to store data. The internet facility on the phone is incredible. It helps me to access Facebook and send emails while traveling, and which saves me a lot of time. Hence, in the present lifestyle, I think it's a perfect device without which our life is incomplete. What are the advantages of cell phone? Cell phone is the fastest and the latest mode of communication. It's not only useful for communicating with others, but it also helps in data storage, sending messages, listening to music, and capturing moments through video camera. The uniqueness of features helps everyone to carry out miscellaneous tasks with a single device. What is the disadvantage of using cell phone? Though cell phone is very much useful, but as everything has its pros and cons, so cell phones are also harmful in many ways, like people misuse cell phones for sending wrong messages, multimedia snaps, and various viruses. It is said that cell phone vibrations are also harmful for heart and brain. Addiction to anything is always harmful. Anything used in limits is useful. Do you think technology has made communication easy? And how do you think that? Yes, in my opinion, technology has definitely made communication easy. It helps a person to be in touch with other people anytime, easily and quickly. It has made businesses and working systems easy, fast and highly economical. A person living at a far place can connect easily with another person and feel close. Due to technology, the distance today is no longer a barrier in communication. How does technology help in the progress of a country? Technology helps to increase production at a reduced cost. This increases the economy of a country. Moreover, people get more employment opportunities and also a good living standard which gives them satisfaction. This helps a country to progress. Do you think communication devices are making people less social? As people think that they are more busy on their phone and interact through mails, so face to face interaction has reduced, and this is making people less social. But this is a narrow view, which is not true. I feel it's connecting and bringing people more closer, even to those who are at distant places. Today, people meet each other through different social sites like Facebook and Twitter, so people today are more social. How do you think the electronic equipments have created the way of life? In my opinion, it has totally changed the way we live. It has connected people globally, as people can connect with anyone, anywhere sitting at home. In addition to this, it has broadened the outlook by providing large amount of information. People these days give more importance to education, profession, and work. They have changed the ways they used to follow earlier. It has made people fast and preoccupied. On the other hand, unlimited usage of electronic gadgets has forced people to lead and live a sedentary life also. How do electronic equipments affect our health? I observe that use of electronic equipments has reduced physical work amongst people, due to which they now suffer more from physical ailments like obesity, backaches, eye problems, etc. Not only this, electronic devices are also responsible for mental problems like stress and depression. Do you think this equipment will also undergo technological changes in the future? Yes, as the time is moving, we observe new changes are coming up in every device. They are becoming more durable. Maybe in the future we will have remote controlled refrigerators with sensors to work for us. Can you name some of the equipments commonly used at workplaces in your country? Along with operational machines required for particular tasks, people use computers, laptops, printers, and cell phones commonly at workplaces in my country. In the present time, I feel people are handicapped without their instruments, which have made work a lot easier, accurate, and more effective. How do you think the use of technological household equipments has changed the lifestyle? I think it has totally changed the lifestyle. People in the past used to do a lot of work manually, which was time and energy consuming, but nowadays we see the use of these equipments has made the household work easy and time saving. People are now in a habit of using household devices and they spend a lot on them. It has also compelled people to live a comfortable life. Is there any disadvantage of using these equipments in day to day life? Everything has its pros and cons. Instead of manual work, people are using automatic equipments which save time and energy, but I think there are more chances of accidents. People are becoming enthusiastic about these equipments and now they can't work manually. They are living an inactive life which has given birth to many health problems. Do you think the trend of using technical household equipments will change or remain the same in the near future? I think it will remain the same. People want to live a luxurious and comfortable life, and moreover, using these equipments at home not only makes life easy, but have also become a status symbol. People are becoming more and more captivated towards these equipments. Describe a historical place. India is famous for its history, culture, and heritage. It is also popular in the world for its historical places. My country has many historical places in different cities. Some of the well known places are Qutb Minar in Delhi, Golden Temple, and Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. I would like to speak about one of the seven wonders of the world, that is Taj Mahal. I visited Delhi last year with my family to attend a celebration. Some of the relatives from overseas decided to visit Agra to see the Taj Mahal. I also accompanied them. It was memorizing to see the beauty of the Taj. The beautiful monument is situated on the bank of the river Yamuna. The edifice is made up of white marble, which was specially brought from Rajasthan. A fountain garden in the front of this marvelous structure enhances its grandeur. This memorial is a masterpiece of art and the symbol of love. The monument was built under the reign of Mughal monarch Shah Jahan in the loving memory of his beloved wife Mumtaz. It is said that nearly 20,000 people were employed to build it, and it took nearly 20 years to complete the structure. The splendor of the monument can be described in words. The beauty is really awesome in full moon night. I like the beauty of the place along with the monument and the art of work done by craftsmen of that period. When I saw this historic figure, I felt that the work is done through hardened hands. I think it is the best tribute to the world that symbolizes both love and art. It and its beauty, which attracts tourists not only from my country but also from overseas. What is the importance of historical places in our life? Historical places are very important in our life. They are the messengers of history. They tell us about the lifestyle, culture, traditions, and religion of the past. Through various monuments, history speaks to the future generation. They are practical and also life learning centers. What, according to you, are the threats to historical places or monuments? According to me, the biggest threat is the pollution through air and water. Both types of pollution damage the appearance and structure of the building. Another threat is visitors themselves. Sometimes visitors themselves are not able to maintain the discipline and regulations. They, out of the craze, try to damage the building. Nowadays, a new threat is terrorism. Terrorists target historical buildings for various reasons. How can we protect these buildings? In my opinion, we can protect these buildings individually, as well as with the help of government. There should be strict security at these places. People shouldn't only avoid damaging these monuments, but also try to protect these buildings by maintaining cleanliness and by not using these areas for developing industries and related activities around these places. The government should also preserve the heritage and its value by setting up various boards and organizations to look after it. Do you think government should maintain the monuments as they are, or they should develop the infrastructure? In my opinion, government should maintain the monuments as they are. Otherwise, it will reduce the charm and original effect of the monument. Ultimately, it's the history, art, architectural work which attracts tourists. Do you think monuments will be important for people in the future? Yes, I think they will be important as they are now. These monuments are not only important for people who only come to see and enjoy the beauty, but also for students who study and carry out research programs on these monuments. These researches are carried out in my country as well as in other countries. So these monuments will remain important for all the generations. It's about important letter. Letters are one of the most important means of communication in my country. The form changes from time to time. Earlier it was pen and paper letters which were popular, but nowadays emails are most popular. I receive many important letters like letter from a pen friend, interview letters, and many more. But the letter which I would like to speak here is my appointment letter which I received from Achievers, the education hub, to work as a trainer. I received the letter last year in the month of August at my home through post. Last year I completed my MBA and I was searching for a part-time job for about 4 to 5 hours. I was trying for a job where I could teach students, interact with people, and explore my knowledge and skills. I applied to many local institutions. Fortunately, I was called for an interview by this prestigious institution. I was not confirmed about my selection. However, 3 days after my interview, I got my appointment letter. The letter was from the corporate office and was sent by the director of the institution. The contents of the letter were an offer for an appointment, terms and conditions, date of joining, the job hours and job responsibilities, the salary package with incentives, and extra benefits which the institution would provide. I was overwhelmed with joy after receiving the letter. I immediately called up my mother and friends to share the happiness. It was very difficult at that moment to express the happiness in words. I'm still working with the institution. My employers are fully satisfied with my services, and I also feel connected while serving them. Did you expect this letter? Yes, I was expecting this appointment letter because it was my previous work experience and results which supported most of my qualification, and the institute was searching for an experienced faculty to handle all the students of different ages and from varied backgrounds. Did you think that the medium of letter writing has changed now? Yes, definitely it has changed totally. Previously, people used to write letters with pen and paper, but nowadays the trend is altogether different. People draft personal as well as official letters on computers using emails, which is the fastest and the cheapest medium of communication. Do you think use of computer for writing has affected writing skills of a person? Yes. Writing on computer means typing words through keyboard. Once a person becomes regular to it, he or she generally avoids using paper and pen, which I think affects writing skills. Writing through keyboard improves typing skills, and writing on paper and ink improves the writing skills. I think continuous practice helps to improve handwriting. What is the advantage of emails? Emails are the cheapest and the fastest medium of communication. Along with this, one can transfer a large amount of data, like photographs, information videos, etc., in no time. It connects people within splits of seconds, whether a person is overseas or at home. What are the drawbacks of emails? It's not that emails has advantages only. It has disadvantages also. The biggest disadvantage is that a person should have the knowledge of English language, as all the communication on computer is done in English, and moreover, one must know how to operate a computer. Another drawback is that these days people use emails for sending virus and committing frauds also. So sometimes the authenticity and reliability of information is not confirmed. It's about learning English. Learning is an important aspect of life. A person goes on learning one or the other thing from time to time, whether the need arises. I did my course like painting, sculpturing, dancing, and fashion designing, but last year I joined an English course to enhance fluency and remove hesitation in speaking the language. I started the course at Achievers, the education hub Panchkula. When I completed my graduation and decided to start my professional career in corporate sector, I found that the major limitation was speaking in English. Though I studied in an English medium school, but I hesitated to speak English fluently, so I decided to join an English speaking course. The course was a complete package of learning English. It included grammar, vocabulary, speaking, which included art of conversation, improving auditory skills, group discussions, presentations, along with personality development. I liked the course because it covered all the aspects of English through different techniques like smartboard teaching, conversations, presentations, learning through games, multimedia, etc. I liked the conversation course mostly. It really helped me to remove my fear of English hesitation while speaking, and it increased my confidence. Overall, the course helped me a lot, and presently I'm able to speak English fluently. Although the course improvised my speaking in English, it has helped me in my job as well. Presently, I'm working in a multinational company as a senior trainer. Due to my conversation skills, I meet international trainers, and my company prefers to send me overseas on different company projects. Overall, I can say that English course was really helpful to me for my personal as well as professional growth. Why do people in your country hesitate to speak in English? My country is not an English speaking country. English is a second language, and moreover, students are not encouraged to speak in English in schools during their childhood. People learn English and study it as one of the language and subject at school, but as they do not get English environment, so they hesitate to speak in English. At home also people speak native language. So English in my country is treated as an official language used for official purpose only. Why do people these days study English? English is an international language, and most of the work these days demands not only the knowledge of English but also communication in English. People these days are paying a lot to study and work in English countries. Without the knowledge of English today, people in my country are treated as uneducated. That's why the demand of learning English is increasing. It is essential in every field of work. As the world is becoming global, its need and presence has also increased. How do you think learning English will benefit along with the native language? I think learning English is really helpful among the native language. Most of the work these days is in English language in all the states in my country. And moreover, online work demands knowledge of English language. Not only this, at workplace, in corporate sectors, people have to speak with other people from English countries. But to communicate with the local people, communication in local language is also necessary. What do you think is the best way to learn English? In my view, the best way to learn English is under the guidance of a tutor. A person can increase vocabulary and writing skills through regular study of English literature like newspaper, magazines, etc. Also with this, people can watch English movies and channels as well. Do you think people in your country will love to speak English in future? Yes, I think the demand of English language is growing day by day. Every work in all fields is being done in English, and the trend will remain the same in near future also. People will feel comfortable with English language, and ultimately they will love to speak English.